Will this AI altcoin be the next crypto megatrend? AI companions. Imagine being able to talk to an AI that understands you better than your partner or your friend, and at the same time, you can make money with it. Sounds like science fiction? Not for much longer. AI Companions is a new AI altcoin that's set to revolutionize the market for virtual companions and offers huge crypto investment opportunities. But before you go and invest everything, you first need to know these 3 crucial factors that will determine whether this really is the next megatrend or your biggest loss. Welcome to 10x by Marius, your channel for honest, data-driven altcoin analysis. First, a quick question. Have you ever heard of AI Companions? I haven't. This AI altcoin, which even surpasses Bitcoin in one aspect of innovation, really surprised me. My analysis showed that it truly has hidden potential that most investors completely overlook. But first, let's get specific. What exactly is AI Companions, or AIC for short? It's a project that combines AI with virtual reality, augmented reality, and blockchain, with the goal of creating virtual companions that understand you, evolve, and adapt to your behavior. This is a real growth market, especially at a time when digital interaction is absolutely booming. Now the question is, what market problem exists, and ultimately, which problem does AI Companion aim to solve? The problem: millions of people suffer from loneliness, despite social media, or perhaps even because of it. The solution: AI Companions, highly personalized, interactive AI partners that are more than just chatbots. They're avatars with emotion recognition and blockchain-secured features. So, it's extremely exciting. How does the whole thing work technically? It runs on an energy-efficient proof-of-stake blockchain. The AIC token is used for in-app purchases, companion upgrades, and subscriptions, and of the 1 billion tokens, 75% are already on the market. That naturally reduces the risk. They have a low market cap and are in the mid or low cap sector. In the 10x scoring, they've achieved a solid value on my 10x ranking list. The roadmap is strong and they want to integrate everything by 2026. But is it worth investing here? First, you need to watch this video to answer that question for yourself, because you first need to know the 3 biggest risks that this coin has. Extremely important. And here I'll explain to you whether it's just hype or if it's really the next crypto megatrend. But before we get started, as always, grab yourself a coffee, leave a like for me, and if you want to support me, become a YouTube member as a 10x supporter. You'll get interesting badges and logos below when you write comments. Thanks for your support and let's go. But a quick disclaimer, my channel is not financial advice, it's purely for information. As always, I'll start with the market capitalization. At $111 million, they're in the low-mid cap range. Of course, this means there's huge growth potential compared to other coins, but naturally, there's also a certain level of risk. Historically, coins in the low-mid cap sector have ultimately delivered some of the best multipliers. They're well positioned in that area. The next point is supply, the circulating supply. 75% of the 1 billion tokens are already in circulation. That's extremely strong. A clear advantage, little risk of dilution, and of course, more predictability. Many projects in this sector, especially low caps, have only 20 to 30% in circulation. That means there's still extreme unlocking to come. But here, they're extremely well positioned, 8. And by the way, you can find altcoins like these low caps on my favorite crypto exchange. I always recommend signing up early, especially for the altcoin season. If you sign up, you'll also get a bonus, so it's really exciting, and you'll also be supporting my channel. Thanks for your support. I've put all the information for you in the pinned comment. Roadmap. Let's move on to the roadmap. The roadmap is crystal clear. They had the token launch at the end of 2024 via exchange listings, but they're also aiming for gamification, smart home integration, so basically, everything is planned up to 2026. We see a clear roadmap, and of course, that definitely attracts long-term investors. In this area, it's a strong 9. The team has experience in AI, AR, VR, and blockchain. Not all details are publicly available here, but the team is strongly positioned. However, transparency is suboptimal. That's why it's only a 6 in this area. Next, the narrative, AI and virtual companions in the story. which fits perfectly with the current tech trend. Narratives are often real price drivers in the crypto space because they capture the spirit of the times if they do capture it. A strong 9. So, what problem are they actually solving? Loneliness is a global problem, and AI companions address it directly. With an interactive AI partner, the project offers a solution that appeals to many people who feel lonely, especially in the social media space. A strong 8 here. Next, how sustainable are they? Proof of stake, so naturally much more energy efficient than proof of work. But apart from that, there aren't too many other advantages here. In this area, it's more of a solid 7. They don't really place much value on that. Next, capital. No publicly known top investors. Of course, this means there's a lack of backing from top players, which is less than ideal. That's why it's only a 5 here. Next, competition. Replica or metaverse projects are on the market, but AIC combines AI, VR, AR, and blockchain in a way that hasn't been done before. So here, too, a strong 7. By the way, if you're interested in altcoins or others like them, I've found 2 altcoins for next weekend that are extremely exciting. I'll just say this much, you really shouldn't miss them. So make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on the bell so you don't miss anything here, and otherwise check out the 10x universe. I've also got altcoin duels and news videos about altcoins. Everything you need. Next, marketing, active on social media, influencer collaborations, exchange listings. That brings visibility. That's especially important for the low to mid-cap sector. So, in terms of marketing, they're well positioned. 8. Then, the simplicity of the idea. Virtual AI companions that learn. Interacting is actually easy to understand. That's important because most investors, of course, love ideas and they need to grasp them immediately. And I hope I explained AIC simply at the beginning as well, so to speak. Let me know in the comments, especially if there's something I could improve on. Strong in that area. 9. Next, long-term vision. What is the long-term vision? As mentioned at the start, gamification, smart home, clear expansion, use cases in the coming years. They have a very clear vision. 8. Next, what about the tokenomics? Fixed supply of 1 billion tokens, no inflationary pressure. Strong in that area. 8. Then, fully improved market update. 148, with the FDV at a market cap of 111 million. That's a healthy ratio. Strong 9 in that area. Next, liquidity and volume. Trading volume is around $5.18 million. So, liquidity is present here. The ratio is also in a good range. 8. Next, token distribution. No public lockup periods are known. That carries certain risks. Transparency is not fully provided here. 5. Next, top coin holders. No public wallet data, so this should be assessed with caution. Here as well. You can already tell, transparency is lacking here. That's also one of the risk factors you need to keep in mind. 5. Next, what is the use? AIC, that's the name of the token, is used for in-app purchases, companion upgrades, but also subscriptions. This is clearly a utility token. Staking would be an added bonus. A strong 7 here. Community, a growing community on Reddit, Telegram and the like. Solid, but not yet massive. But, as I said, they are already well positioned here. 7. By the way, are you already an AIC holder or are you a fan of them? Write hashtag AIC in the comments and see how big the community already is. So, what else do you have planned for this year or for the future? As mentioned, they want to implement almost everything they have planned by 2026. Gamification, play to earn, NFTs, these could attract new users and, of course, also create positive price pressure. Here, a strong 8. Sometimes, in the crypto space, you stumble across projects that just won't let you go. AI Companions is exactly one of those cases. An AI altcoin that could be more than just a short-term hype. At the same time, you should also be extremely cautious. On my 10x ranking list, where by the way I have all the altcoins I've ever analyzed with a percentage score so you can assess how good the altcoin actually is, they're in the middle of the pack. They combine AI, VR, AR, and blockchain into a unique platform for virtual companions. Strong roadmap, clear utility, high circulating supply, all solid data. Market cap is extremely low in the mid to low cap sector. And let's say, in certain respects, especially in the social media sector, they still have a bit of momentum and room to grow, but also hardly any serious competition in the market. That almost leaves the field wide open. For me, that's why AIC isn't a coin for gamblers, but really a long-term idea. But you really have to keep an eye on things and watch closely, because they're not entirely transparent. You should definitely pay attention to that, as it naturally carries some risks. By the way, if you want access to the Zingles ranking list that I just showed, a little bit of self-promotion here, then the 10x Elite is just the thing for you. The smartest crypto community, including a learning platform. What do you get? Access to my portfolio. In other words, you get an insight into what I buy, my watch list. But you also have indicators that are extremely interesting, and of course, there's the Zwingix ranking. I've linked all the information for you in the video description. You'll also get a tutorial there. Feel free to check it out. And if you sign up now, you'll get 30% off. Just use the code 10x. And now, let's get to what you've been waiting for, the price scenarios. You should definitely at least keep an eye on AI Companion, but let's move on to the price scenarios. The bear case. In the worst case scenario, let's start here. The crypto market weakens, investors are more likely to withdraw capital, and the hype fades. If it still manages to remain stable, it wouldn't be spectacular, but it also might not be a massive loss, so to speak. Here, price targets of $0.31 are possible. This is calculated purely mathematically. But now let's move on to the more normal scenario. In a healthy market without extreme FOMO, AIC could gradually work its way up. Driven by new features, a steadily growing community, and increasing media presence. Here, we're not talking about pie-in-the-sky dreams of a 100-fold increase, but rather solid, sustainable growth. That's what investors love, after all. Here, price targets of $0.38 become theoretically possible. But now let's move on to the optimistic scenario. Now things are getting interesting again. If the narrative of AI, virtual companions, and the price for maths if the narrative of AI 4, ultimately, virtual companions catches on with the masses, AIC could become a serious player. Increasing partnerships, new exchange listings, real-world use, and its environment could, of course, have an extreme impact on the price. That often happens faster than you think with altcoins. Then, in theory, mathematical price targets of around $2 would be possible. Now for the extremely optimistic scenario. Here, the coin could become a legend. A viral use case, mainstream adoption, a global trend, and of course, real-world relevance for people. In that scenario, it would be extreme, especially for early investors, of course. And then we'd be looking at $6.67. That would be massive. But now the question is, what will things look like in 2030? What if, in 2030, the world is such that AI companions are as normal as smartphones are today? AIC would then not just be a simple platform, but they would dominate the market. In this case, we're no longer talking about cents or just a few dollars, but if they really end up being the brand for AI companions, then we're talking over $10. Whether you're cautious, optimistic, or visionary, hey, I see it as a project you should definitely have on your watch list. I hope I was able to give you all the information you needed, and now I'll show you another altcoin that's also extremely exciting. It's being hotly traded. A lot of people have their eye on it. But there are also many who haven't even noticed it yet. So that you don't make that mistake, check out the next analysis now to make sure you're fully informed. Thanks for watching and see you in a moment.